Good morning and welcome to a new year. This is the 2021 school year. What I want you to know is that everything you submit, whether or not you're at home or online, make sure that it's on white paper. And those of you at home, make sure you use black ink, okay? And you must have a heading, name, date, and period on everything. And if it's an assignment, you need to put the page, what section it is, and how many problems, okay? So you'll need to add that page, section, and how many problems that I give you, okay? So make sure that you have the proper heading so that I can give you credit. All right, let's take a look here. We're starting on 1.1, and all of you can find your textbook on Clever and go to Savas, and you can download the book, okay, whichever book it is. Let's take a look here. We want to find the distance. Well, if you want to find the distance from -4 to +2, you could just count the spaces. 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So you would say the distance is 6 steps or spaces, okay? That's one way to do it, is to just physically count. Now, when might you not be able to do that? Do you have an idea? Let's say I wanted you to count how many spaces were from -16 all the way to 10,000. Yeah, you might be able to figure it out, but could you actually draw it and count it? So the better way is to take the bigger number minus the smaller number. So big minus small. Okay? And that's the formula I use. Now you might say, well, which number is bigger? Well, 2 is positive, and a positive number is always bigger than a negative. So you would say 2 minus a -4. Now look, this is a -4 or a -4, same thing. But this now is a double negative. So that becomes 6. A double negative becomes a positive. Write that down if you don't know it. A double negative becomes a positive. The way the book does it is like this, with absolute values. They just take -4, let's see, -2. And actually, I don't even know how the book does it, and I don't want to know. So just remember, big minus small, okay? All right, let's go on. Now, if you figure out how the book did it, that's good. You can do that if you want, but I would do it this way. Segment addition postulate. And by the way, you need to know some definitions. And those of you, excuse me, who still need the Algebra 1 EOC, well, guess what? Your geometry EOC is going to count for that. So it's very important that you pass this one, okay? So geometry has become very important, just like the algebra, okay? So do what I ask you to do, okay? All right, let's look up here. Segment addition postulate means you add up segments. And by the way, the word postulate means accept it without proof. You just accept it. Like your parents, you just accept that they are your parents, okay? Because it's all you've known. Now, some people, when they hit 18, their parents sit them down and they say, you know what? We've been meaning to tell you, and we wanted to wait until you were an adult, that you were adopted. Well, that does happen, believe it or not. Okay, now I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but the point I'm making is a postulate is something that you just accept without proof. Okay, so here you're adding up segments. So you're going to add up, look here, it says AC. So from A to C, which is from here to here, the whole thing. All right, so you're going to add up this segment, AB, plus segment BC is equal to segment AC. Now, when they put numbers in here, they drop the little segment symbol. So AC is 25, so you put 25 here. And AB is 3N. And this other one is 5N minus 7. Okay, so you want to combine like terms, so draw your line. Now, if you never learned how to solve an equation, draw a line. We separate this into two parts. You have the left side here and the right side. So here, this one and this one are like terms. So you add those up. So you say 8n minus 7 is equal to 25. Now this is called a two-step equation. You want to get rid of everything except the n. No, the 25 is not on the side, so leave that one alone. So you want to add 7 to both sides by the addition property. Say that, because that is on the EOC. So that's 22, and then you want to divide by 8. And when you divide by 8, well, it doesn't go evenly. So it's 22 divided by 8. I'm going to reduce it by 2. So divide top and bottom by the same number. So that becomes 11 over 4, and I'll take that. Okay, let's move on. Segment addition. This one is angle addition. Look right here. See how it says angle? That's what that means. ABC. So put your pencil on the A. I want to see everybody doing that now. If you're at home, I want to see you doing it as well, even though I can't see it, but I want you to do it. So take your pencil, pick it up, put your pencil on the A, the B, and the C. So this angle from here to here represents the whole thing. And it says the whole thing is 80 right here. So the whole thing is 80. And it says angle ABD. ABD is this upper one. So they're looking for that upper one. Let me see if there's something else. There has to be something else here. Okay, and I don't see it. But let's say they say angle DBC. That would be this one. And let's say they say this one is 30. Well, you would take x plus 30 is equal to 80. So x plus 30 is equal to 80. And then you would draw your line. Don't do anything with that 80. You want to get rid of that 30. So by the subtraction property, say that, you get 50. So this one has to be 50 by angle addition postulate. This angle plus that angle equals the big angle. That's all there is to it. Segment addition and angle addition. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you know what a postulate is without looking? All right, I say, who's your daddy? Because you accept it without proof. Well, let's take a look at this next one here. Copy this down. The coordinate of midpoint N is 5. Well, draw a segment or a line segment like this, and then you want to put at 7, so let's call this 0. You can put tick marks if you want. So put a dot right here and call this one N. And actually I'm doing this wrong because N is 5. So go to 5 and put a dot and put your N right there. Okay. Now find the possible endpoints. So AN, so A has to either be over here or A has to be over here. There are two possibilities for AN. It could be this one or it could be this one. But the distance has to be 7. Okay. So you want to count backwards. So if this is 5, then the 0 is 5, 6, 7. So it has to be -2. So one possibility would be A would be -2. The other possibility would be to add 7. So 5 plus 7, it would have to be 12. So the two possibilities would be 2 or -2 and 12. And either one of those gives you 7 steps from point N, and N is a midpoint. Midpoint means in the middle. For example, let's say you want to buy a car and you're negotiating with somebody. He wants $7,000, all right, and you're willing to pay $6,000. Well, obviously, we got a problem here. He wants more and you want to pay for less, and that's usually the way it is. Finally, you say, look, I'll meet you halfway. So you are willing to pay $6,500. That's a midpoint. Now, if he doesn't accept that, you at least try. Okay, so midpoint is halfway. Opposite rays. So put ray, and I don't mean like a person. A ray has an endpoint, and it goes on in one direction. So this would be called ray AB, like this. Make sure you know that. Now, you can't say ray BA. If you say ray BA like this, then it's starting at B. So ray BA would actually look like this. This would be ray BA. Make sure you understand, rays are very particular, like some of you. When you're eating at home, if your mashed potatoes touch the corn, you're not going to eat it. Very particular. That's the way a ray is. Okay, some of you don't care. You mix it together and eat it. It's all going to go in your stomach anyway. Okay, so a ray is very particular. So opposite rays, which is what we're talking about here, one is going to go one way, and then the other one is going to go the other way from the same point, which makes it opposite. So you would call this ray A, well, let's say ABC, let's name it. So opposite rays would be ray BC, and you label it like that, and opposite ray would be ray BA. Notice they both start from the same endpoint. I don't know why there's so many trucks going down the road, but I do have my window open. Make sure you understand opposite rays. If you do not, then certainly you want to go to YouTube and watch this video again. Let me see if I can make this bigger for those of you who are at home. And by the way, I sent this to all of you. This is a focus. I don't want to focus it. I'm not sure how to zoom in, but I will go ahead and show you the whole lesson for today. Now remember, if you need the EOC for Algebra 1, it is vital that you pay attention, learn, ask questions, and do what I ask you to do. Remember, you are not going to be allowed to turn in any late work. I don't want that. I don't have time for that. Okay, that's 30% of your grade. But I will let you retest. Now, retesting is not a right. It's a privilege. What does that mean? That means if I give it to you, I can take it away if you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. Okay, remember, it's not a right. It is it is not a right, it's a privilege. Okay, so if you check the syllabus, that's what it says. All right, that's it. Took me about 12 minutes to go over today's lesson. If you have questions, I want you to zoom in. I'm going to be on Teams answering questions starting on Monday. Have a good day.